What's going on, world? What it do? Welcome to another edition of the 2-minute tune up. Listen, this video is going to be a little bit longer for those of you who are watching on YouTube. Just the 2 minutes for those of you watching on TikTok and Instagram. For the full video, please head on over to YouTube. I am at Coach Walt Enterprises on YouTube. I am coachwalt.com. Check out the site and let's do some work together. All right. Today, man, pride. One word, but it's such a huge word, such a huge idea. It has such a huge presence in most people's lives. And yes, I say most people because it shows up in so many different ways. And oftentimes, the biggest source of pride actually is feeling like we don't have it. It is. I talk to so many people and I am so forthcoming in conversations about areas in my life where I know like, I've been prideful. Pride is showing up or has shown up, right? Or has the ability or possibility to show up. And one of the things that makes me chuckle the most is when people act like they can't relate, or they act like, oh man, pride, what's that, man? Or they feel like it's only in the major things that pride exists. But let me tell you, anytime you make a decision without God, pride, baby. That's what that is. Right? So often, man, I was just having a conversation actually with a mentee of mine, and he was telling me what he told God, right? What his plan was and what he wanted to do. And I said, okay. Did you ask God though? And his response was, of course, I told God this is what I wanted and everything. And he said, okay. Well, that's what he's going to do. He's going to sit back and pull his hands off and say, okay, that's what you want. That's what you want to do. Okay. Most of the time, regret sets in because that's what pride does, man. That's what it does. It brings regret. We make decisions out of our own self. And we get caught in, man, I shouldn't have done that. Or I wish I hadn't done that. Or I wish I had waited. Or I wish I had asked God first. But now we're out here. And now we got to figure it out. And because God is so faithful, man, he reaches down and he holds us anyway. He picks us up anyway. And he puts us back where we're supposed to be. And says, okay, hey, look. Now, how about asking me how to take the next step? How about asking me to show you how to maneuver through this situation? Because I can do it better than you can. And it's so amazing that even I've been studying a lot of King Solomon. Because from a financial standpoint, from a business standpoint, like God gave us a blueprint with King Solomon of how to run business. And I've been following it. And I'm telling you, I can show you how successful it has been for me over the last even just 6 months. King Solomon's business blueprint. But you know what Solomon also had? Pride. And a lot of it. And what Solomon's pride allowed him to do was forget God. He got so big that he figured, oh, hey, I can make myself happy. Solomon struggled with women, right? And worshiping their gods in Kings chapter 11. I won't read it today, but go read it. In 1 Kings chapter 11, God tells Solomon, hey, if you are going to worship the gods of your wives, of these strange women, the Bible says, then I'm going to take this kingdom from you. I'm going to take it from you. And Solomon gets a wake-up call and remembers, like, wait, God gave this to me. So yes, he could take it away. He can cause it to be removed from me. But that's, once again, what pride does. Even in our everyday lives, we get blessed or we're afforded an opportunity. We'll put in a gainful situation or place and we forget how we got there. Even for just a moment, because that's what the enemy does. His goal is to deceive, right? Steal, kill, and destroy. And deceive us and move us out of the place that God put us in. And pride deceives us. It makes us think that, hey, we're okay. I'm okay. I'm here now. God, thank you for, putting me here, but I can handle it now. That's what we say. We say, man, you know what? Cool. Thank you. Thank you for getting me here, but I can handle it now. Even in our everyday lives, we are faced with situations, a lot of us, and I've seen it a lot. I saw it a lot, even playing sports, especially where guys would get to a certain level. And even with the work ethic, they would forget how much work it took to get where they are and not understand that it takes even more work to stay there and then even more work to get to the next level. Now, pride set in, man. They get those deals, those numbers start rolling in, and pride sets in. Oh, I made it. I'm here. I don't have to do as much. I don't have to work as hard. And same in our spiritual journeys, like, okay, I made it. I'm here. God, I don't have to pray as much. I don't have to read my word as much. I don't have to talk to you as much. I don't have to ask you as many questions. I don't have to be led by you as strictly as I was on my path to this point. And there's a reason why in Proverbs 6, the Bible says that pride goeth before a fall. Listen, pride is literally a devourer of progress, of peace, of all things good. Because as soon as you allow yourself to begin to think that you've made it and you are in a position where you don't need God or you don't need to work, you don't need to pray, you don't need to praise, you don't need to acknowledge how you got there and the source. It's like almost an immediate reaction, right? Because the enemy steps in, he's like, oh, yeah, I got him. I got him. I deceived him. And all the while, there's so many ways that God tries to get our attention. And as is the case with my mentee that I was talking to the other day, he was just getting so frustrated with asking God and feeling like he wasn't getting an answer. Feeling like, he wasn't getting the response that he wanted or a response at all. And so he took matters into his own hands and made a decision. And again, almost immediately, that decision produced regret. Now, in this case, it wasn't something that was super life altering or life changing. But again, that's what we do. We get tired of God's timing and we try to make it happen on our own because it sounds good, because it looks good, or because it feels good. And then we fall. It's the same even in business and financially, right? With the entrepreneurs and CEOs and things like that I get to talk to on a daily basis and coach through a lot of different scenarios. Oftentimes the mistake that they have made is forgetting what it took to get them to the level that they're on. And then they make a decision out of self instead of sticking with the plan, sticking with the program, understanding that small steps produce great distances, understanding that incremental progress adds up. They want to make the big leap. They want to jump off the cliff. They don't know how to fly. Don't let pride devour your progress. Don't let pride be what hinders you from getting to the next level. Because we all want to get there. We all want to win. We all are seeking to be as productive as possible in the business world, spiritually, at home. We want to be productive. We don't want to be standing still and stagnant. We also don't want to go in reverse. And that's what pride does to us. It puts us in reverse. It shows us a big picture, a big pretty picture of what's in front of us. And when we go to reach and leap forward without the structure and the infrastructure to help us sustain the leap, that picture seems to get smaller and smaller. But why is it getting smaller? Because we're actually going in reverse. That vehicle has been put in reverse. And while you can still see the picture, it's getting smaller and smaller because you're getting further and further away from it. Listen, stay the course. Kill that pride. I promise you, you'll be better for it. And everyone around you will be better for it. As a business owner, your team will be better for it. Everyone that you are able to impact and help through your product or your service will be better because you're not operating out of pride. You're operating out of a selfless need and want to serve. Pride stops us from serving. Jesus was a servant. Even today, he puts us in positions to be servants. Eradicate the pride. Put yourself in the position of a servant. And I guarantee you all the things that you are trying to do, all the things that you are trying to accomplish, make happen, they'll happen. They'll come to you. All because you're serving someone else. Pride really is the devil. Let it go. I promise you'll be better. 2 minutes.